Hi, my name is Robert Amoa. Today I will be your professor for this important course. I'm going to do a 10 minutes demonstration class to indicate when to take a managerial decision. Today we are going to look at one of the quantitative decision-making tools often used by management to make decisions. Some examples of quantitative decisions often made by management as a managerial decision tool include the break-even analysis, differential analysis, and cost-benefit analysis. Today, we will be delving in the cost-benefit analysis and how it helps management to make decisions. Before we dive into how to use a quantitative example to solve such managerial problem, first let us take this opportunity to understand what is cost-benefit analysis. Cost-benefit analysis is a tool where the costs and benefits of two or more projects are compared. It is like a differential analysis in cost accounting. Like differential analysis in cost accounting, CBA, for that matter, cost-benefit analysis is a data-driven decision-making tool. It also uses the matching principle of accounting, where revenue are recognized in a particular period are matched against expenses in the same period. So it is a very important decision tool. Like I said, it like a differential analysis, and it also uses the matching principle of cost accounting that match revenue recognized in a particular period against expenses incurred in that same period. Managers effectively use CBA in decision making. For effective use of the CBA analysis in decision making, management must take steps in one, identifying the projects. They must also gather cost data, and they must also gather the benefit data, calculate the net profits. It could be positive or negative, analyze results, and finally make a decision. There are two methods of cost-benefit analysis. The CBA, in short, can be done through one or both of the following methods. The NPV method, which is based on the time value of money principle. NPV means net profit, net present value. The NPV means net present value, which is based on the time value of money principle. Another method of CBA is the cost-benefit ratio, which is based on the relationship between cash inflows and cash outflows. So you can either use the NPV method to solve a cost-benefit problem, and you can also use the cost-benefit ratio to do the same. Today, we are going to take a more look at the NPV technique. There are two ways of using the net present value technique to solve a cost-benefit problem. We have the formula method, and we can also use the Excel or what is called the spreadsheet method. with the formula method, which is a bit complex, we have the NPV equal to B0 minus C0, that divides by what is called the discount factor. The B means benefit at the beginning of the period, and then C is cost at the beginning of the period. So if you subtract the cost from the benefit and divide by the denominator, which is the discounting factor, then you'll get the NPV for that period. So with this long formula, it is assumed that costs and benefits are incurred and recognized in a number of periods, more than 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, up to 5 years. So if in the formula you see the T stands for any period in the future, unknown the nth year. So it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years, it could be whatever years in the future unknown. So, but the formula is taking care of whatever years costs are incurred and benefits are recognized. So we can use that formula method to solve the NPV method, and we can also use the Excel method to solve the cost benefit problem. In this brief lecture, we will look at the Excel method of analyzing cost benefit of a project. So let's turn to, I have a problem in front of me here. It's concerning Base Buy company that is faced with two decisions. They have two projects, two competing projects. Project one, they are thinking of restoring their product lab, and also project two, they are also thinking of abandoning the restoration. Instead of to restore the old lab, they want to see if it will be more profitable to just launch a new product lab. So management did a good work by gathering data. So the data in front here for project one, from the year of initiation of the project is year 0, and we have year 1, 2, 3, 4. So costs were accumulated for each period, and the benefits are also accumulated and they are given to us. The project 2, that is a new product, the second choice, or the second alternative, with its own costs and benefits. Now, here is the thing. We are now faced with this problem, and management is asking us to do what we can do to solve this problem. Now, the question is, are we going to use the formula method to solve this problem? Because they want to select the best option. Should they restore the old lab, or should they just abandon that and then, try to invest in a new product? How do we know? How do we make the best choice? What is the best option? So the best option, we cannot at a glance tell that project 1 is more beneficial than project 2. We have to use the data given to analyze to be able to give our a decision and then advise management to select option 1 or option 2. That is project 1 or project 2. So turning back to, so in order to solve this problem using the data that was given to us, so we open a spreadsheet. With the help of the spreadsheet, we can analyze the given data and then come out with a solution. So what we do is we consider the data given to us by project 1. What we do in column A, we have project A, restoration of product lab, and column A we have the year, and we have 0 up to 4, and column B we manually enter the benefits for the periods from period 0 to 4. We enter the related cost on the next column, that is C, and we have the cost here. And then from here, now we are going to use the spreadsheet, the Excel functionality, to help us to analyze these figures. So under D, you can see B minus C. So B minus C means we are subtracting the cost from the benefits for each period, financial period. So, for example, the benefit in year 0 was $500,000 as against the cost of $800,000. So initially, it was a hard thing taking this project because the cost was more than the benefit. But that doesn't stop management from continuing the project. So they continued to year 1, and they had a benefit of 60. That's the difference between 600 and 450. So you compare the rest of the years, you match the benefit and the cost to see if there are profit. So the differences are put in the D column. The reason why the 300,000 is in parentheses and in red means the result was negative. So the beginning of everything is always hard. So there was a loss of $300,000. So that's why we are seeing $300,000 in parentheses. Now the next column E is what is called the discounting factor or the discount factor. It is the most important thing that we can use to discount all their values into their present value. If you remember from the beginning of the introduction, I mentioned that the cost-benefit analysis tool employs the principle of time value of money. So, and everybody knows, and in finance, we know that according to the principle of time value of money, $1 today is worth more than $1 in the future. Well, I'm not going to talk deep about that, but we are using that principle in order to solve this problem. So what we do here is we use the discounting factor, which is 1 plus R raised to the power n. N means number of years. So, and the R is the rate, the discounting rate. Unfortunately, in the question, they have given us the rate as 13% as discounting rate. And that's a good thing. Without that, we wouldn't be able to move forward with this problem. But thank God, they have provided us with the discounting rate, which is 13. So in this column, we need to plug in the rate of 13%. So with the help of the Excel, you use this formula, and then once you compute for each of the years. So the discounting factor for year 0 is 1, for year 1, 1.13, and the rest are computed the same way using the Excel functionality. Now, the next column is the net present value of each of all the values in column D. So what you do is, all these are supposed to be divided by the discounting factor that will give you the NPV for each period. So at the end of it, when you click here, in order to do that, you only click here. You see on top of here, at the FX function, you will see that in order to calculate the value there, you need some command in the Excel, which will give you, for example, we have equal into parentheses B4 minus C4. Okay, you are giving a command to the Excel in order to generate this value for you. Now, with the help of the Excel, you don't have to do that throughout the cells and the columns. So once you apply the formula, and you can just use that one and then use your cursor to copy it and pull all the way, and the Excel will generate all the figures exactly for you in order to save time. So in this first project, we have the net present value of a total of 276,163 and 16 cents. So project 2 is on the other side. So this is project 2. The same way we did with project 1, you enter all the benefits, enter all the costs, and B minus C, you do the same thing. Now, project 2 seems very frightening. Why am I saying this? It's frightening because at the initial stage of this project, the company incurred recognized zero benefit, and they had to spend $2 million, a whopping amount of $2 million for no benefit. Still, management had the courage to move forward with that project. So you realize that in year 1, they had a benefit of $1 million, and they incurred $800. Year 2, they had a benefit of $1,200,000, and they incur $500. It looks like it's a pattern. When from 1, 2, 3, they keep increasing their benefit and then reducing their cost. It is very strategic. I don't know what methods they use, what strategies they use, but they did what they did, and they were able to reduce costs and increase their benefit. Now, so we use the same formula as we did in project 1 with the BC cost subtracting from the benefit, and then we have all these figures, and then at the end we have a cumulative NPV of project 2, that is the new lab, to be 1,400,765.30. Can you imagine? So you see that even though project B or 2 started in a wrong note, it was able to generate more benefit than project 1. You can see the difference here. So with these two figures, by comparison, I think management will be better off just starting a new product lab versus restoring the old product lab based on the figures around we have here with the help of the Excel. Another method we can use is the benefit cost ratio. Benefit cost ratio. Here, this is the benefit cost ratio. When we analyze for project 1, we have 1.21 to 1. And project 2, we have 1.63 is to 1. In project 1, for every dollar spent on cost, there is a 1.21 benefit being recognized. That is not bad. It's not, long as it's not negative, it is a good project. But let's look at project 2. For every single dollar spent on the lab, there is a return of 1.63. Now, the question is, these two projects, they are not, they are mutually mutually inclusive projects, but they are not independent projects. According to the decision rule for MPV, when two or more projects are mutually expensive, even though if all their MPVs are positive, you will like to choose the one with the highest MPV. Okay, but with the exclusive, mutually exclusive project, that means when you only have the chance to select one, you cannot do both projects. So I'm assuming that these projects are mutually exclusive, and once you cannot do both projects, I will commend that they should rather forget of the new product lab and concentrate more on their old on the new project lab that brings more benefit, way more than the restoring it. That is not all. There is we can also use the same information, example, the net revenue, to draw a chart that indicates the same problem, but it is hard to read a graph. But if it is required to do it, then we can do it too. So this is a chart that indicates the performance of both projects. So with the gray light is project 1, 2, and then this is for project 1, and you can see the gray line far above project 1's curve. So it is more beneficial to consider the new project versus restoring the old one. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, like I said, I don't have enough time to do more of this course. I think next week, in our next class, I will use an example and walk you through the process of how to use the Excel version of the cost-benefit analysis tool procedure to solve a problem. So for now, I'm ending here, and next week, as I said, we will look at an example that will walk you through the methods of using the Excel functionality in order to solve a cost-benefit problem. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.